All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing. Thought I would bring you a little video about how to go about changing the reel handle on your bait casting reel. So the stock handle that comes on whatever reel, whatever bait cast reel that you purchased or you have, how would you go about changing that to an aftermarket handle? Okay, no, why would you do that? Okay, well, I mean, maybe you don't have to, but you might have to. So depending on the reel that you purchase, the model, make, model, most high-end reels now, bait casting reels, come with a really nice handle, okay, which is typically a little bit longer than the stock handle, better grips, better material like a carbon fiber material, which is lighter, okay. So on this particular reel, this happens to be an Abu Revo, SX Revo, okay? And this is the stock reel handle that comes with it, okay? And it will work perfectly fine. This is probably, this reel, I guess, would be low to mid-range, you know, in the 150 class, if you had to buy it, okay? So it happens to be left-hand retrieve, which is what I use. So for me, I have big hands, and the stock handle on these reels is just a little too short, okay? It is a metal, most likely aluminum. And like I said, it'll work fine right out of the box, okay? But for me, it's just not long enough to fit my hand. I end up actually, you know, hitting myself with the reel handle, and it's just you know, it's not comfortable, okay, for what I like, okay. So what I'm going to do is walk you through how you change that out. Now, it's also the same process if you were going to take the reel apart, you know, to clean it, okay, or something like that. If you're not mechanically inclined, I would suggest you bring it to be serviced from someone like Mike Mello, the real deal, okay. He'll be able to go ahead and change the handle out for you, and or, you know, clean and lubricate your reel for you. So, all right. So I've gone on, you know, online through eBay, and I have a place that I like to go through to purchase the aftermarket handle. All right. So we'll get into that in a second. So basically, what you do, I'm going to put my spectacles on. So here's a little close up, you know, of the reel and the reel handle. Okay, so you're going to see there's a couple things you want to pay attention to. You get this little screw right here, okay, very small, fine thread. You don't want to lose that. And there's this little lock ring as well, which is what that little screw holds down, okay? Holds that lock ring down so the nut can't back off, okay, and have the handle fall off, okay? So I suggest you lay out a towel like this, you know, to keep track of things. And the first thing you want to do is take that little screw out, okay? So you want to be careful here. You don't want to strip anything out. Now this little screw is standard thread, and you know, for lack of a better expression, righty tighty, lefty loosey, okay? So this little screw comes off like normal, okay? All right, so you want to pay attention to that. All right, so there's the little screw out. And here's our little lock ring, which is all that screw does is hold that, okay? So here's the lock ring, like that. Give a good look at that. All right, now you're left with the nut that holds the handle on. This is where you want to be careful. This is reverse thread. It's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, okay? The reason being is so that it doesn't loosen up when you're turning the reel handle. Okay, so it's opposite from what you would think. If you were going to tighten this, you know, clockwise, it's not, okay? So counterclockwise would be off, clockwise would be on, okay? So this is opposite, okay? So you want to hold on to the reel handle, and you're turning it clockwise, which would normally be tightening, but you're actually loosening it, okay? So do this with your fingers. Once you break it free, there's the nut. There it is. So the handle's just going to come right off. And one thing you want to pay attention to is there's this little metal washer that goes between the handle and the body of the reel. Okay, so that typically will come off with the handle. So take a look at that. Make sure you take that out and put it back on to the stud that holds the reel handle on. Okay, so you don't lose it. All right, so here's the stock handle. Open up the kit, and what you have here is a carbon fiber handle, very, very light. Okay, the knobs, a real soft rubber, whatever it's called, Evo, foam, or whatever it is. It's not a hard plastic like the old stock handle. Okay, so here's the difference. Okay, you can see how much longer that is. And this is actually much lighter, okay, being carbon fiber, okay? So they give you two different nuts depending on the size of that threaded piece that it goes on. I'm not going to use those. I don't need those because the original nut, which is red, which I like, does the job just fine. Okay, so here's a reel, no handle. All right, we already put the little washer. We swapped it over from the old handle to the body of the reel. All right, so here's the new handle. All right, slides right over, just like that. Okay, now what you want to do here is just thread the nut back on, and again, make sure that you're turning it the direction that it would, you would think it's coming off, okay, but it's not, it's going on, okay, so it's reverse thread. Okay, so there's the nut back on, all right. Now what I like to do is just snug it just a little bit, okay. Now this piece right here, the old lock ring, will not fit, okay, it's too long, okay. It'll go over the nut, but it's, the hole to line up the locking screw doesn't line up, okay? So we don't need that. The original screw, this little red one that came off the old reel handle, will also not fit because it's a different thread, okay? So it's a different thread in the new handle than the old handle. So that's why they give you the little screw that actually fits it, okay? So you put the new locking ring on, which has a shorter throat to it. What I like to do is put it so it's not lined up and actually line it up, okay? So with turning the nut, you're actually turning the nut a little tighter. Remember I snugged it up? So now I'm snugging it up even more until I get to the place where it lines up, okay? So there you go. So that's on there tight, and you don't want to over tighten it. Now you take your little locking screw, and again, I just like to use, my fingers at first if I can. I don't want to cross thread anything, okay? So I got this little screwdriver. It's got no leverage. I can't possibly cross thread this screw with this tool, okay? Or my fingers. So I'll spin that on there really good. Okay, tighten up a little bit. I do like to put, now that it's on there, I will take a screwdriver with a little bit more leverage and just torque that down a little bit, okay? So, but not too much, okay? So there you go. Brand new handle, much longer, much more comfortable grips. It's lighter, so the reel is lighter. Looks cooler, but to me, it performs better than the stock handle for my hands, and I'm good to go. So I've done this to all my bait casting reels that I needed to change the handle out. So like I said, this is a mid-range reel. Your higher end reels already come with this type of handle, and you shouldn't have to worry about it. Okay, so anyway, there you go. I hope this helps you out. Any questions, put in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. All right, everybody have a great day. I'm actually here waiting for the Super Bowl to start, so cheer on whatever team you're rooting for. All right, talk to you. Bye.